Yo, no more Hollywood. This is Hollywood. It's crime times. You probably should. In the streets, I was breaking the gutter. I run up on your mother for that bread and butter. Surround these crooks, get your property took.
That's not all, ladies and gentlemen. He is not going to be out here alone. Our next guest hails from Baltimore, Maryland. He is a former WWE superstar and cruiserweight champion. He is a former Impact Wrestling X Division champion, and he is the third African-American world champion in Impact Wrestling history. He's the man who united the TNA World Heavyweight Championship and the Impact World Championship. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce you to Impact Wrestling superstar, Rich Swann. Allow me to introduce our special guest panel hosts for this particular panel, Wrestling for the Culture. Now, these guys are maybe not someone that you know all that well, but you should and you will, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, they will be challenging here at the River City Rumble Night 2 for the USWA Tag Team Championships. They are one of the finest up-and-coming tag teams in all of professional wrestling today. They're a three-man group. Please welcome the prodigy of flight, Eli Knight, the integrator, Malik Bosidi, Nick J. Holiday. They are Culture Inc.
What's up, everybody?
How's everybody out there doing tonight? Jacksonville, make some noise. Let's start this thing off hot. I know y'all get louder now. We got two of the most influential brothers from our culture making a name for themselves right now. Let's get over here for JTG and Rich Swann. Let's go. Alright, so let's get this Q&A started, man. JTG.
What's good, player?
The VIP champion out there in Texas, man. Let's go. So let's start off, man. So, you grew up in Brooklyn.
Flatbush.
Flatbush. So, what made you get into the world of professional wrestling?
Oh man, both my parents were big wrestling fans. My mom especially, she would take me and my sister to Madison Square Garden every month. When it started, I wasn't even born yet. She was taking me when she was pregnant. And I just posted on my social media, I think about a week or 2 weeks ago, my first wrestling event. It was in 1985. I wasn't even one yet, but I was watching King Kong Bundy and Andre the Giant go at it, and I was just a couple of months. And it's just been a tradition. I've been going, when they ran New York City, they would come once a month, and me, my mom, and my sister was there.
How about the Knicks this season, though, man?
alright. I don't keep up with it. Doing
Just
good.
got eliminated out of the playoffs, but y'all did y'all thing. Y'all finally made it back to the playoffs. So I'll give you that respect. So, hey, so Rich, you started early in your career at a young age. We got Eli Knight here who started at a young age too in our group. So he's gonna issue questions to you.
Yeah, I can ask the same thing. He asked JTG, what got you started into wrestling?
You know, just my brother, he was a huge wrestling fan, and I just remember as a young kid, I was at home watching the Go-Go Power Rangers. And my brother, he came in, he said, "Get that crap off, I got something else you need to watch." And I said, "Well, what? What could be better than the Power Rangers?" He put on WCW Monday Nitro. Next thing I knew, I was seeing guys like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Dean Malenko fly around doing all these things that the Power Rangers could do, but they was real. God damn! So I said, you know what, this is something that I want to do. This is something that, you know, these guys, especially Rey Mysterio, being his size and stature, I was never a big kid. I was always the small kid, the little running the grouch. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing somebody like Ray gave me hope and inspiration, and that's why I do what I do today.
JTG, quick question for you. So a lot of people here may not know the strenuous training we go through.
Yeah.
Could you happen to give a glimpse at your training in OVW?
Oh man. So I started training in OVW when I was 19 years old. And I started off with like 30, 40 people. And by the end of the month, there was probably like, like 10, 15 of us. In the wrestling business, they have a way of weeding out the weak, weeding out the ones who, you know, who really want it, not someone who just watched it on TV and, oh, I'm gonna get in the ring. You know, we went through strenuous training. You know, we did 100 to 500 squats. Yeah. Hitting the ropes 100 times. You know, I remember going home from training sometime, and I'll have like little welts from the ropes under my arm, and I just developed a what you call it? A callus. Yeah.
The hard spot right there.
There you go. So yeah, I don't got those bruises anymore. But yeah, the training is very strenuous. You have to really be passionate about the world of professional wrestling to get into it. It's not for the weak of heart. Anybody who's thinking about getting into professional wrestling, you have to come in. You can be physically fit, but you have to have the heart, the passion for it.
Appreciate it. That's real. That's real.
So JTG, you are one half of the illustrious tag team Primetime that I know everybody in here believes needs to be in the Hall of Fame coming soon, right? Make some noise for Swann again. So my question is, you and Shad, early 2000s, y'all came into WWE. I want to know, how was it doing those entertaining skits? Because I got one in particular that you and Shad was selling D-Generation Next some scalper tickets to get back into Raw, man. How was filming those entertaining skits like?
Those skits were very entertaining to film. I remember we got this script. Well, not the script because they couldn't really write for Shad and I. We kind of just gave us bullet points of what they wanted us to do. But like the vignettes, we came up with a lot of our vignettes and skits. I remember our debut skits, the vignettes. Shad and I came up with all those ideas, and we did it in OVW. And Vince got hold of it, saw it, hired me immediately. He's like, I love these guys' on-screen chemistry. They have something I wanted on my brand. And I got called up. Shad and I got called up, and then we went up to WWE. They ran a lot of ideas by us, but we had to, because it had to be street approved. They had to be approved by hood approved. Yeah, and I remember one time one of the writers came to Shad and I, and he wanted us to say mollywop. Shad and I looked at each other like, what's a mollywop? We're not saying that. Where did you get mollywop from? Oh, we looked at what's it called? The Urban Dictionary. I'm like, oh, that's where you messed up.
Rich, so you just had probably one or maybe the biggest match of your career. You walked into Impact Rebellion and you going one-on-one with one of the greatest performers of this generation, Kenny Omega, and you're walking in there as the Impact World Champion. Tell us how it was going into that match and your preparation for that match.
You know, every single day I was just getting ready for the best bout machine, getting that cardio up, making sure I was in the gym, just working as hard as I could, you know what I'm saying? And everything that they say about Kenny Omega is true. He is the best bout machine. He is one of the people that is an inspiration to the people coming up watching this game, and he's a game changer. And getting in the ring with them at Rebellion, I definitely found out what Kenny Omega was made of. We went 30 plus minutes, and man, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was definitely one of the toughest matches of my life. It had a whole bunch of pressure, you know, built up with it, you know what I'm saying? I came in as the Impact World Champion and the TNA World Champion, you know, and I had that match with Moose, and Moose, he's one hell of a competitor, former NFL star. He's just ridiculous. He's almost 7 feet tall, you know what I'm saying? And the match, compared to the Kenny match, it doesn't even, you know, put into words the exhaustion, you know, that I felt, you know, in that match. Like, Kenny and I, we put everything that we had into it because it was built as, you know, 2 different wrestling promotions on 2 different television stations, stepping into one ring on one pay-per-view, no screwy finishes, no BS. Like, we was just going out there and we was gonna give a winner. And, you know, everybody saw who the winner came out to be, and that was Kenny. But you know what? I feel like I proved myself.
Take a step back. I just wanted to look at your independent wrestling. You know, season all right. How was it coming up in the Indies and wrestling around all those talents back in the day, around 2015? All those wrestlers that you stepped in the ring with, and you guys killed it every single time.
It was definitely something that I hold near and dear to my heart. Like, I'll never ever, you know, forget those days, like traveling to Mexico, traveling to Germany, traveling to England, traveling to Japan. And every single one of those places, every single one of those countries that I've been to, you take something different. You learn something different. You always will learn something new every single time you step into a new place, every single time you step into a ring. And the moment that you think that you know it all is the moment that you need to step away from the business, because you will never, ever, ever stop learning. And that's the one thing that, you know, I have kept instilled in me, is to always go out and learn something new every single time I am blessed to step into a professional wrestling ring.
Speaking about PWG, we know that it's coming back August 1st. So, you got any plans?
Just keep them eyes peeled. You might see me in Battle of Los Angeles or something like that. You never know.
So JTG back to, like I said, one of the best illustrious tag team in all of WWE. You and Shad, take us back to 2008 when you and Shad worked with John Cena. Tell us how that was when y'all was tearing up JBL's limousine on Monday Night Raw. How was it working with John Cena?
I'll never forget that day. It was New Orleans. It was July 7th, 2008. And it caught us off guard because we had no idea. We just walked into the building and one of the backstage hands was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna make history tonight." I'm like, "Oh, we win the title, it's great." And they was like, when we got the info, they was like, "Oh, you guys are going with John Cena. We guys gonna have you as a pair." And me and Shad looked at each other like, "Oh, we with the big dog. We with John." And we always had a cool relationship with John. He was cool. And I think there was definitely something there. I wish we could have did a lot more. You know, I think we only gave you guys a little taste of CTC.
To piggyback off of that, like I said, we've been fans of yours for years, man. You were in rich respect.
You guys make me feel old.
So there was another match that I remember distinctly on SmackDown. I want to say 2009ish. I want you to take us back, and I feel like it was one of the head matches. It was JTG versus the GOAT, Y2J, Chris Jericho himself. Tell us how that match ended, and tell us how your hair was going into that match.
That also caught me off guard too. I remember the building. I was walking into, I believe it was in Nassau, somewhere, yeah, Nassau. And I walk into the building. Jericho hits me on my shoulder. Me and you, kid, you up. I'm like, I can't curse anymore. I'm like, out of here. I didn't believe. I thought he was messing with me. And then some hours later, I saw the card, and I was working him, and also I was winning. And also to top it off, my mom being such a big wrestling fan, and, you know, taking me, she was able to sit front row and watch her son beat Y2J. And her friends was there. She was, if you look back, you can see her front row, and that's also on my social media. I pointed out my mom, and she was so happy and proud to see her son, what she watched growing up when she came to this country, because she was an immigrant when she came to this country and latched on to wrestling, to see her son perform in the ring with Y2J.
So like I said, with this collection of black excellence in this ring right now, with us brothers coming up in this business of color, how did y'all approach that? Did y'all ever face any negativity? Did you ever face any struggles, any criticism in certain aspects? What kind of advice would you give three brothers up and coming in this business of how we should handle adversity like that if we were to approach something like that?
You know, I'd say, just go in and don't use it as a crutch. We've all dealt with negative in our life, you know what I'm saying? I've dealt with adversity from the age of 15 years old, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have a mother or a father, you know what I'm saying? And I've just learned to deal with adversity. You go in and you look adversity right in the face, you know what I'm saying? And you take what's yours. You do it respectfully, though. I'd say as a brother, you know what I'm saying, you go through and you go through and bust your ass just like, oh wow, excuse my language, but you just go through and you just work as hard as you can, harder than the next man to get what's yours and earn respect and everything like that. And just come with respect. That's all I say.
All of what he said. Give it your all. Just give it your all. Don't focus on the negativity. Stay positive. I'm big into spirituality, so I don't focus on negativity, because when you focus on it, it's like a magnet. You're just gonna attract it. So stay positive, and just give it your all. Just give it your all. When I first started out with professional wrestling, I was watching tape from the 80s and 70s. I was working on my promos. I was practicing my punches on the walls, busting up my knuckles because I wanted to throw the best punch in my class. And look where it got me.
So for all y'all fans right here in attendance, listening, this is the time where we gonna get y'all involved in this Q&A. So everybody out here, let's make some noise. We finna come out there and get a fan question. So everybody get up, we finna go to the loudest fan, and y'all finna ask JTG and Rich Swann a personal question. Malik, go the loudest fan for us.
Personal.
Let's go, make some noise, make some noise. Who wants to ask these two brothers a question real quick? Let's go.
They're shy out here.
We got one.
So my question is going to be for you, JTG. With your partner just recently passing last year, can you give us your thoughts personally on him as the individual and as the guy that we may or may not know? So your partner passing recently, can you give us more insight on him, the individual, as Shad, as like the man himself, as opposed to him being the wrestler? Can you tell us about him?
Gotcha. Also, Shad, I got a lot of my mindset from him because we were both on that positive mindset. You know, Shad will always come to the gym just happy and smiling. What the hell are you so happy for? Like, and then hanging out with him, it rubbed off on me. And Shad also liked to have a good time. He was a ribber. He liked to do practical jokes. And if you were in a bad mood, he would like to always try to find a solution. that was Shad. Yeah, besides being positive, always trying to find a solution to your problems, always trying to bring your spirit up. He was an amazing father, and he went out as an amazing father.
Hi, this is for JTG. The quote Normal the interviewer. I have a gift for you. Coming all the way.
I got a gift.
Yeah, coming all the way from Bebop Arts, which is our local vendor right here in the Vendors Alley.
Okay.
And if you want to come along, there's one of the guys want to come in here as well.
Good on your chicken.
Okay. Alright. Alright, so as the crowd wants to participate in a drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please.
Give a drum roll.
So coming all the way from Bebop Arts, he likes to present you a portrait of here.
That's dope. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's trying to make me cry here in Jacksonville.
All right, let's get one more fan question. Let's go. One more fan question. One
more.
Last fan. Come on now. Let's see. Let's go. Let's go. One more.
You know, man?
Somebody say right here. To your right.
Alright, so this question is for Rich Swann. So as I think a lot of us know that you competed in the Cruiserweight Classic for WWE, I was going to ask, what was that experience like for you, and how did it feel being in such a big setting like that?
It was definitely an amazing experience. Definitely somebody of my size and stature. You never would think that I'd be able to make it to WWE. And I got the opportunity to be a part of NXT a year before the Cruiserweight Classic came about. And they came to me and said, hey, I can see that far away look in your eye. I can see you're ready to wrestle. Well, guess what? We're doing a Cruiserweight tournament. And I was like, whoa, oh snap, this is what got me into wrestling. This is what inspired me. This is my chance to show the world what I can do. And not only myself, there was 32 other competitors that also got an opportunity to step into the World Wrestling Entertainment, hone their skills and show the world what they could do. And I felt very fortunate and grateful to be able to put Cruiserweight Wrestling back on the map. And, it was definitely an amazing experience. Thank you.
Guys, we actually have one more question up here. I think we have a question for Culture Ring.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, guys? I got a question for y'all young guys in the business. For the culture guys. Do you feel like you owe a responsibility to the business and to represent the culture, if you will, to the future of pro wrestling?
Everybody give it up for the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Give it up for from our culture to you, Mark Henry. Happy belated birthday, my brother. Happy birthday. We just got a question from Mark Henry. So to answer your question, for us, when you got such good examples of guys that blazed the one hell of a trail in front of us, as you, like Ron Simmons, Mark Henry, Butch Reed, all y'all brothers, man. So Shad Gaspard, all y'all brothers, we feel an obligation to do right by y'all. We feel an obligation to put other fans onto our culture. If it's wrestling, if it's sitcom, if it's music, if it's political stuff, if it's Black Lives Matter movement, if it's any of that, we feel an obligation to do right by you, the legends, the OGs that blazed the trail that we walk today in tag team wrestling, Olympic wrestling, gold medals, all that stuff. You blaze a trail for Crime Time, you blaze a trail for Rich Swann, you blaze a trail for us on the independent scene, Culture Inc. We feel an obligation to go out there and show people what the culture's all about. If it's like I said, for the African American brothers, for any other color that it is, we feel our obligation to put it on for all of y'all at 100%. Eli, you got it.
I'm only 19, so learning all about just like what black people have been through, the struggles we go through at a young age, you had to realize that we have a responsibility. We have to look at just everything in black, and we have to.
Our responsibility is to everybody because inside, outside this business, inside, outside this ring, we have to show them 100%. We can't show them anything less. We can't give no reason for them to look at us any less than everybody else. So no matter what it is that we do, inside, outside the ring, 100% we will give for our obligation.
So like I said, with the coaching, our duty and our obligation as a tag team represented for the state of Florida is to go out and keep our message alive. Like I said, with the Black Lives Matter, with that. Also for our brothers of color, like I said, like putting the spotlight on brothers like Mark Henry, Ron Simmons, Butch Reed, and rest in peace to Kamala, rest in peace to Viscera. All those brothers that blaze the trail that we walk today, we're doing it for the culture. And we're doing it for each and one of y'all. We're doing it for Jacksonville. We're doing it for Orlando. We're doing it for Tampa. And like I said, we're doing it for like the brothers in front of us right here, Swann, JTG. We're doing it for all y'all. And like I said, our message that we're gonna take off today is to stay woke, because the future is all of ours here in this business. And beware of the culture. God bless you all. Thank y'all for today.
Give it up one more time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Wrestling for the Culture panel, opening things up today in day 2 of the River City Wrestling Con. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's gonna take about 5 minutes, and we got another panel coming in there. I'm going to be joined by 3 very